We began today just north of New York City, with baby boomers committed to helping the blind and visually impaired travel with greater freedom. Our second story takes us southwest to San Antonio, Texas, where we find two baby boomers who've devoted their lives to assisting United States veterans overcome the physical and mental wounds associated with their military service. In 1969, Bob Seer was 25 and a sniper when he served in the U.S. Army Special Operations Group, the elite U.S. military unit in Vietnam, so secret that its existence was denied by the U.S. government. He was a Green Beret and parachuted behind enemy lines at night where his duties included destroying enemy weapons. For his service in Vietnam, Bob was awarded the Bronze Star for heroism in ground combat. 2 years earlier, at the height of the Cold War, Bob parachuted into Germany on reconnaissance missions more than 100 times. Now, 50 years later, those missions are still classified.
Is that helping your knee, Bob?
Yes, it is.
Okay, good.
This is Bob Seer today at age 72. Every day for 2 years through 2013, Bob was taking 40 milligrams of the painkiller hydrocodone to help him manage severe back and knee pain associated with his military parachute jumps. His battlefield experience also prompted bouts with post-traumatic stress disorder.
Especially around November, December time frame, some of the missions that I'd ran in Vietnam on the SOG teams, Special Operations teams, I'd lost a lot of good friends. Christmas time had been a real bad time for me. So when I'd come to that part of the year, I had a lot of trouble with it.
Then in late 2013, Bob was introduced to the alternative healing work of Bob Deschner and his partner, Dottie Goodson.
Okay, we're going to start with the aromatherapy, and you've done this before. We've got the orange.
Bob and Dottie, baby boomers raised in military families, founded TRIIP, a South Texas group of 120 alternative healing practitioners to help veterans suffering from physical and emotional pain, and to do it for free.
We wanted to help veterans just because everybody in Texas wants to help veterans. I mean, you know, there are all-American heroes. They are the all-American heroes, the men and the women that serve.
Bob, with his training in Qigong, or energy healing rooted in Chinese medicine, philosophy, and martial arts.
Get circulation down to the knees, relax.
And Dottie, trained in aromatherapy.
Eucalyptus and rosemary. Just breathe it in and relax into it.
And what's called emotional freedom technique, or tapping on your acupuncture points to reduce stress.
Even though I have a lot of stress?
Even though I have a lot of stress,
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
Work right alongside their team, with a commitment to veterans' health influenced by their father's experience in World War II. Dottie's father saw combat in the U.S. Army Infantry and was stationed in Germany after the war.
His first assignment after the war was to open up concentration camps, so he was a concentration camp liberator. And just the thought of that should tell anybody, how could you not end up with post-traumatic stress after witnessing, after working with those people in those conditions?
Dottie keeps her father's World War II helmet liner, a poignant artifact of war that at once keeps her father's memory close, and the memory of what he was asked to do central in driving her mission. Your dad would have worn this then?
Yes.
When he was liberating concentration camps?
Yes, yes. And that gives me chills to think about. So I realized why he was emotionally unavailable sometimes. And all of a sudden I just wanted to help veterans, to give back to those who have served, who protected this country, who put their lives on the line.
Bob's father served in World War II as a Navy corpsman. His grandfather was U.S. Army infantry in World War I. His two uncles were Marines, one in World War II and one in Korea. Bob, who was 18 in 1972, the last year of the U.S. Selective Service Draft Lottery for Vietnam, received a high draft number and did not serve. But he wanted to honor his family's military tradition and support U.S. troops. So he turned to his gift of healing.
The intensity of the pain and the intensity of the symptoms, the stress symptoms of PTSD, they're struggling. And it was both a training ground, and an opportunity to serve.
And it's service that's working. 4 weeks after former Green Beret Bob Seer began his alternative healing, he no longer needed hydrocodone to relieve his pain. As for his stress,
I was able to do some tapping, or my wife had bought me some essential oils, orange, which I keep right here, and I'd pull out and just smell a couple of drops of that, or put it on my hands and smell the orange. It would calm me right down. A little hint: take some of the lavender.
Yeah.
Put the lavender on your mustache.
and service is catching. Bob Seer became a chaplain, so he could volunteer at TRIIP to counsel veterans through the emotional and physical challenges he understands so well.
I saw what it did for me. It gave me new life. I've seen enough veterans who are living with the pain and the shame that comes from PTSD. That does not need to be.
You know, a lot was given to us that our parents didn't have, so now we can give it back too.
It's about giving back and serving those who have served us.
To take somebody who's in abject agony from their service in pain and stress and show them how to rebuild their lives, the satisfaction is incredible. It's the best job in the world.